Early this year, Invenias have been bringing out a lot of releases that I'd say there's probably one every 2 months, every month, and they've got a lot of good stuff in there. I want to show you what we have. It's a summary of what they've been happening over the last few months. Some of them are brilliant. We've really got to take a look at them. So let me dive straight in, and we'll go through all the various areas. So the first one I want to show you is called Save to Invenias. It reduces a huge amount of clicks. Let's take a look. Save to Invenias is probably the highest voted feature that was recorded at the end of last year. So Invenias have made the change and they've put it into the system. Let me show you what it is because it makes a big difference. It saves you a lot of time. So if I've got an email here from Dale in this case, he's saying here's my CV. Now he's a candidate. He's obviously got interested. He wants to look at the assignment we're working with now, and we need to move the progress status on the assignment forward. But what I'm going to do first is just save this. It's a good email. It's important to have that as part of the journal. So I'm going to go save to Invenias. Open up the box there, and then we're going to save it against his person name. By default, it'll go against his name. I can also then add the assignment he's working on. Now you'll see this new part. This is the new bit. This is the interesting bit. It's grayed out at the moment. It says update candidate assignment details. Well, if I look for his client assignment, his candidate assignment rather, I can see it's this one here. I'll add that, and now this has become ungrayed. When I click on it, that will save it to the assignment. Save it to the journal, save it to the assignment, and now it comes up with this new pane. Now this saves you having to go into the assignment and updating his progress status. You can change it here. So he might have come in as target candidate. I can then just update that as in discussion. I can type away any progress notes I want there, and if there's any notes I want to put into my fit to profile or internal comments, I can. I click OK, and then that's been dropped straight into my assignment. Let's go into my assignment now and take a look at that. I'll just open it up. Here it is, and you can see Dale here under in discussion. He's been moved down to in discussion, and we've got those extra notes that I put in there, everything updated. So it really saves a lot of time. You don't have to come into this assignment at all. You can do it all from the front end just using Save to Invenias. Another action that's been put into Save to Invenias at the top here, if you've seen with Dale here, he's got his CV attached. If I wanted to save that, I click on attachment, and we'll save that attachment, and you can rename it, because I know a lot of customers, a lot of companies wanted to rename to their own type. So if I say CV raw, and then call it Dale, for instance, and then we can just save that. So that's one particular area that's useful. Also, you can change the subject of the email. You can call it Dale's CV. So it doesn't have to be their subject. It can be your own. And then it makes a lot more sense when you're actually putting it through through the journal, and you can just see everything as it piles up. And then just go save and close. The next one is position modification. When you're inside your assignment and you want to take a change to a person's position, you don't have to open up the person record, then go into their positions, and then change the remuneration. You can do it all from the profile. Let's take a look how you do that. Being able to change position information is also much easier in the latest version. I've got an assignment here already up and running. We can see all the various candidates here. I've got Dolores here. Now I want to change her current position, and you can see in here on the current position I've got her remuneration in there, or even if you didn't have a remuneration, I want to put a remuneration in there. Well, in the old way you'd have to double click on the person record, open up her person record, and then go to positions, go to the position we want to change, open that up, then go into remuneration, and then make the change there. That's pretty long-winded. Now, customers have been voting to have something a bit faster than this, and what they've come up with is we select our person we want to see. I'm back in my assignment, by the way. On the right-hand side, we have current positions. If I click on the link there to the current positions, it will just go straight into the current position tab. So it's cut out all those many clicks that I just did, and just shows you the position details. We can change the position status for current, previous, or change the end dates, and then the remuneration. Just click on remuneration and change it there. So if I want to change the remuneration, let's scroll down into a previous position, film producer accountant. Let's click on that, and then we can go in here, click into remuneration, and then click on the package items that we're going to put there and just add them there. So that's incredibly faster and much better way of doing things. However, there is also another change that's been made as well. If I go into this person record, let's just go down to the bottom here, onto Alison here, for instance. And I brought up all her positions here. You can see under the positions tab on the left hand side, here are all her positions. Well, rather than having to go into each one of these, if I wanted to change the status of it, I've got 3 current here. Now, this one isn't current. So, and now it has this drop down that you wouldn't have seen before. You can now go into this whole grid here and just change them as required. Now, you'll need to refresh them. Hit the refresh button here after you change them. This one's going to be a previous. And then it'll allow me to put dates in there if I have dates as well. So that's all done now. Real simple. So you can go into your person record, go into positions, and then you can just do it without having to open up each one. So 2 quick ways of using positions, and they have been, I think, some of the second highest vote. There were 21 for 21 votes in the ideas portal by customers to put this through, and Invenias have gone away and done it, and to good effect. When you're working with your colleagues and you might want to share a record, be within someone that you've got inside an assignment or within a list of people, you can do that now. Let's have a quick look at that. A great addition to Invenias in this release is the ability to share. So you can select anyone here, go right click, and you can see we have share here. That's been added into this drop down. You can select anyone from your team just by clicking the magnifying glass there. Select the person you want to share it with, and then it'll email it to them. Or you can copy the person link, and if you've got something like Slack or anything else open up that time, you can then send it to them. I'm going to open it up in Google just as an example. Click on the link. That will open up at Invenias, and then that'll open up Dale's record inside Invenias for me, and there he is. So going back to the assignment, we can also do it in a people list as well. So if you've got a list of people here, all your people here, just go right click, share, and there it is, comes up again. We can copy the person link if you want to. We can drop it in there. We can select the people, or we can put in a comment, whoever you want to send it to within your team here. So nice little addition there. Makes life so much more easier. With categories, they used to take a while to work your way through them. Invenias has got a really good idea on making it a lot quicker now. Let's take a look at that. A new speed enhancement that's been put into the system is around categories. You'll remember if you have a list view of people here, I've just gone to people and got a list of all the people on the database, and then go to the top here to the category filter and switch it on. Traditionally it had the number of people that met all these categories, so if I select marketing, it would then search by marketing and do that for me. One option that Invenias has now put in there is to turn this off, and this is for the bigger databases because it saves a lot. It will save you a lot of time. So it's going a bit slow with this function on. I'd look at turning it off. Let's see how we turn it off. Go into System Preferences, and you'll see in System Preferences, I'll go to Global Settings, Categories, and then at the bottom, Display Counts in Category Filter. This is new. Now, I've turned this on to enable it. You'll notice that if you haven't enabled it, it will just turn itself off like that. And then after you save it, and then open up the category list again, or the people list, to see the categories on there. Well, the list has now come back on there. I'm going to the category filter top right, and you'll notice that all the numbers have now disappeared. However, when I click on to, say, financial services, it's incredibly fast. It's searingly fast. So it gives you the option to either be fast or to give you more detail, depending on the size of your database. Talking about categories, if we open up a person record now, we can see the categories has slightly changed in the categorization area. So I've gone to Dale here, gone to his categories. If I now open up the industries here, you'll see it goes straight in and it's collapsed. So the sub areas here have just not been seen. So it goes in as collapsed. You can expand it all, but most people have it as collapsed because it's just a bit more readable. You can actually find the area you're looking for, and then you can open it up here. So again, it's one less click to another less thing to think about. It allows you to just go in straight in as collapsed. Well, that's it on categories for this section. Great. One of the new latest features, which you might have noticed, but I'm going to talk you through it, is the new dashboard here. And the new dashboard is put up on the dashboard screen of Invenias, but it's actually brilliant for being able to show you around how you're getting on with the assignment. Let's take a look. The assignment dashboard is also new. If you go to your dashboard inside an assignment, you'll see this layout. This used to be only in the web app. This is now in the desktop app as well. The important bit about it, the interesting bit, I think, is this candidate by progress status. So we can see exactly, if I move my way around here, we can see how many people we have in discussion. We've got 5 people in discussion. We've got client further interview, 2 people there. For consultant interview, you've got 1 set up. So you can get a feeling just by looking at the ring diagram and moving around it and highlighting the various elements here. We've got 21 candidates in progress here, and this is the progress status of all of it. We can see who the client is. We can see who the team that's working on it. If you're using milestones, you can see this at the top here, so when your next milestone's coming up. But you might want to just take the top level view here. Let's see, it's been open for 227 days. Well, yeah, this is a training system, so yeah, that happens clearly, and yours will be a lot smaller than that. But you can see the last activity and how many active candidates we have there. On the right hand side we have the activity. You can just roll up and down, you can see what's been going on. Anything important can be pinned at the top here. Now this pinning comes from, if you're in the assignment, let me go to my candidate and we can see the journal. Now we've got Alison here, I've got the journal open here on the right hand side, and we can see this was pinned to the top. It's an important meeting that we have there, and then when I go back to the dashboard, that shows up at the top. And then finally we can see from the type of interviews held, we can just see the numbers to the right of quantity. So we're going down to 1 second interview, but there's clearly a problem there. Lots of people have been interviewed, but only 1's got through. So that's the new dashboard that's been brought into the desktop version of Invenias. And finally for today, title and person record. If you've been dealing in healthcare or any of those areas where it's important to have the title of your person, such as doctor, in there, let's see how it's now been changed in Invenias, and we can take a much closer look at that now. In some instances, it's important to have the candidate's title in the person record here. You can see here I've got Dr. Dolores Stevenson. Now that doesn't happen just by mistake. If I click on here, we can see that the doctor has been put in title, but traditionally that's not been added. By default, you won't see that inside Invenias. However, you can now switch it on. Let's go into System Preferences. And you can see inside System Preferences, I've got people. Again, you need to be an administrator to look in here. Click on People. And at the bottom here, it's Show Title in Header. If you click that and then Save and Close, when we go back to the person record, you'll see the doctor appears here automatically. So for some countries, such as Germany, it's really important. And I believe it was a number of German companies that voted for that to be put into the system. If you're doing a search and using umlaus or some non-English character, non-UK characters, you might want to look at this. This is, say I'm doing a quick search, and I'm going to search as a guy called Jürgen, which has a, let me just put this in here, Jürgen, you can see it's got the umlaut here, and it's brought back Jürgen. So this new feature has fixed a problem that caused duplicates in the past. The two U and UR are exactly the same in some languages. If you go into your System Preferences, we can then see where that comes from. So here we go. So we can add new phoneme pairs. So if you go down to Search here on your System Preferences, you need to be the administrator to do this. Click on Search and then Phonemes, and then you can put them in. So you remember Jürgen can either be the umlaut or UE, and then there's a few others there. You can just add the phoneme pairs there and put them in, and then that will save and close. So that when you do your search, and you do, I'm going to do a quick search here, and then go back to Jürgen. There we go. You see it brings up Jurgen Thornton with the different spelling. So it stops a lot of duplicates there. It not only works in quick search, it also works in structured search as well, and also people search. So another good addition to the recent rollout of Invenias updates. Well, there you have it. That's all the updates from Invenias up to August 2022 for this year. It's been a stunning collection, really. So much productivity has gone into it. One thing we haven't mentioned are all the bug fixes they put into it, and also some of the speed ups that they put in there, some of the ways of making things run a lot faster. There's so many to mention that we wanted to keep it short and a summary for you rather than death by PowerPoint. So I hope that was useful. For all of the training courses we provide, they all have the new changes in them. They work with the latest version of Invenias, and we also highlight some of the productivity areas that makes life so much easier. So on our training courses, there's a number that we offer here. New starters, for instance, just a quick note on new starters. If you're wishing to welcome new starters to your company, we give all the information there and get them up to speed really quickly and very productive within a 2-hour session. We also have the existing consultant upskills. So for consultants that have been using Invenias for many years, or for a while, if they want to find out more on how to make the best out of Invenias, we provide a course for that. Searching. On the database with Invenias, there are 8 search engines, and they can be a bit daunting. So we provide a really good update on that. Not only just a quick method of being able to find up to 90% of your candidates, but also the ability to dive right in to the structured search and use it to best effect. A lot of people want to use the business development side of Invenias to good effect, so that they can account manage their existing customers and also to create new customers. So that's pretty good for business development. And finally, productivity and best practice. I get a lot of people asking about, can you tell us more about how we can make Invenias more productive? And to make the best use of it. Well, we've been working with Invenias for 15 years, and we've found ways to do a process by which to do that. So we can share that with you. That's a 2-hour training, and also leave you with a checklist of things to look for to get your assignments running at the maximum productivity. Well, I hope that was useful. That's just a quick overview of some of the changes that have come out over the last year. All I can say is good luck with Invenias. If you need any help with training, give us a call.